Hey guys, we're going to be taking a look here today at um, the structure of DNA, and specifically we're going to be talking about chromosomes. Before we get into that though, let's remember that the cell cycle has these two major parts, right? We have interphase and we have cell division. And DNA takes different forms depending on what stage it's in. During interphase, DNA takes a form called a chromatin, all right? So this is how we take a look at chromatin. Chromatin is kind of like spaghetti. It's all tangled up together. So this is the form of DNA during interphase, okay? Now, when we get into cell division, we know that we actually need to pull apart the DNA. And you'll note that chromatin is so tangled, it can't pull apart. So what happens during cell division is that the chromatin is going to condense and wind up on itself and turn into something called chromosomes. Okay, so here's a chromosome. And you'll note that a chromosome is actually two parts here. It's made of two sister chromatids. So this is a sister chromatid and this is a sister chromatid. And they're actually identical to each other in terms of their DNA. They're connected in the middle at an area called the centromere. Okay, so just to review some of the terms here, we've got chromatin, condensed version called a chromosome, chromatids, sister chromatids, and they're connected in the middle by the centromere. All right, so that's just a little review of the things that we were talking about with structure there. Now let's take a look at some of these ideas here. Let's move through this quick. When we talk about chromosomes in different organisms, in prokaryotes like bacteria, they have one chromosome that's long and it's in a circular form. But eukaryotes, like you and me, our chromosomes are on single strands. And those single strands might be all kind of mixed up together, but they're in single strands. It's not a big circle like you would find in bacteria or prokaryotes. Okay. The other thing I really want to talk about is this idea of how your chromosomes really relate to and make different types of cells in your body. Okay. The majority of your body is made up of these things called somatic cells, and a somatic cell has a full set of DNA. So what we see here, this is a picture called a karyotype, and a karyotype shows you all of the chromosomes of a specific cell. So in a somatic cell, this one is for a human male, you can count them. There's 46 there, and there's 23 pairs, right? So for chromosome number 1, I have 2 of them. One that you got from mom and one that you got from dad. Same thing for chromosome number 2. Now, chromosome number 1, these two here, these are called homologous chromosomes. Homo means the same. They actually have the same genes on them. So the same genes are here as they are here. Now, they might code for different properties. So they might have the gene for eye color, but mom might have blue eyes and dad might have the brown eye color. Or they might have the gene for hair color or nose size, right? And then chromosome number 2 would have different genes, but it would have thousands of genes, and they would each have the same ones. So homologous chromosomes have the same genes, okay? Now, in a somatic cell, these are called diploid because you have 2 of each chromosome, that one that you got from mom, one that you got from dad. So we call that diploid, and we signify that with 2N. Now, the reason why we use an N is because different organisms have different number of chromosomes. So for humans, you would put the 23 there, right? Humans have 23 pairs. So in math, you would go 2 times 23 is 46 total, okay? So again, a somatic cell is any of your cells that make up your body, your skin, your muscle, your hair, your brain cells, your nerve cells, okay? Those are all somatic cells. Your gametes are different. Your gametes, you have very few of them in your body. Gametes are reproductive cells. They're like sperm or eggs. Now we call them haploid. Haploid means single. You only have, in a gamete, you only have 1 of each chromosome. Okay? You have half of the DNA. So for a human, we would put 23 in for N, and you want to multiply it. It only has 23 total in the gamete. All right, so if you have any confusions or any questions on DNA structure, chromosomes, chromatid, somatic cells, gametes, you want to make sure that you re-watch this video.